again. Hello, beautiful people of the world. Welcome to our podcast, To the Bell. I'm Dalton, Coach of Ring State Boxing. Welcome to our podcast, To the Bell, my lifelong friend,
Mm,
Gustavo,
mm.
and our guest, Susie.
Susie.
So, Susie, you care to introduce yourself?
I'm Susie Powell. I am a member of Ringside Elite Boxing and very excited to be here tonight.
There we go.
Mm.
Sweet way to introduce yourself. So, you started with us last year, July 9th,
Yeah,
right?
that's
And
correct.
you've been here, consecutively every single month thus far. And, we kind of want to elaborate on that. What's it been like being here with Ringside?
Oh, it's amazing. I love this place. I come here 5 days a week. My day's ruined if I don't get to come to the gym and see my gym family, is what I call them. Everybody here is a family, and it's just part of my day. It's something I build into my day is my boxing time.
There we go. And fun fact, you literally just got out of class just a few moments ago too.
I did
And you
class number
did the
two.
yeah, did 11 o'clock class today too.
Yeah.
So she's one of those people that she's here all the time. And like you said, and I've seen you come in and I already know like somebody's like on the phone with you or whatever. You're like, I'm just trying to work out, I'm trying to train, trying to get that work in. Go 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 go. So I think that's awesome. I think that's huge. And people have asked me before, like, you need to get Susie on there. You need to get Susie on there. Just kept doing it. Because, you're here all the time. You can check Ringside's page, and she's here
She's in the morning.
all the time.
In the morning, too.
What's this podcast
About boxing? Typically, it's about boxing. But today, we figured we'd do something a little bit different, And Susie's one of the people that, yeah, she boxes, but a big part, too, is that, where she's been going and how she got here. The big thing was fitness and losing weight. And, do you care to say how much weight you have lost?
Well, I've plateaued. I'm stuck, but I'm at 87 and a half pounds total.
Damn.
And the goal is
I say that I want to hit 100 and I'll be happy, but I'm sure I'll set a new goal.
you're right, absolutely, and that's cool because it speaks volume on your part. Like you're definitely one of those people that never get satisfied. You're like, even when you hit that goal, I'm not gonna say if because she trains her butt off. So when she hits that goal, she'll be like, now it's time for the next goal, and that's awesome. We talk about people all the time that just lazy, no accountability, but you're one of those people that's like, let's find another one, let's go.
What makes you, well, do you have any days like where you don't want to come?
I love coming. I have bad days where I'm like, I could just go home and lay on the couch. And then I quickly say, nope, you didn't get here by laying on the couch. So you get on down to boxing. And when I get here, I enter the door and immediately I'm happy that I came because I see my family
Process.
here.
In the
And
process, you just feel like you accomplished something when you get the sweat and all the stuff, all the hard work you put in. You just feel like you done something right,
oh yeah,
right?
and you're so happy you came at the end. I'm like, man, I'm glad I didn't go home and lay on that couch because I would have still been in a bad mood.
Yeah, yeah.
It amazes me how, no matter what day it is, you come in, you're already like smiling. You're like, let's go, let's get this work. And that's awesome because most people out there, they look at, what you're doing, they're like, I couldn't do that. There's no way I could do that. You hear that all the time of people being like you talked about, almost being obsessed with it, you know?
And I think that's what kept me from coming initially was I was intimidated. I was following your pages and I was looking and I knew people that came here and they kept saying, just try it. They knew that I was really getting into fitness and they were like, just try it. You're gonna like it. And I was like, yeah, but what if I mess up? Or what if I can't last the
Yeah,
hour? Or what if I get tired? Or what if I fall out? And they're like,
yep,
you're not gonna do that. Just
yep.
go give it a try. And I came July 9th and I said, oh yeah, I'm going back. When
And
can
it's
I get
and
back
it's
there?
funny, Jason's a good friend of all of ours, and he talked about it. You came in and did class, and Jason like automatically was like, man, Susie's gonna love this. He's like, dude, she's already talking about it, and he knew like instantly. He's like, this will be something that she sticks with. He's like, she's not one that gives up on anything. He's like, and sure enough, he's been right to the T. He's like, she's gonna be in there the whole time, and he talks about like how much you loved it, and you're still here, almost a year mark that she's been in here.
That's how I was. That's how I was. Remember me? When you was training people at the garage, at the little
At
garage
the
at
going,
that
yeah.
barn or whatever. Every time I see you, I'm going to go over there and mess with you. I'm gonna go over there and mess with you. It took me about what, 4 years?
Yeah,
About 4 or 5 years?
and we've talked about it before. Gus was,
The same
through
way.
all my
Yeah.
chapters. Like I started off in a garage, and I bought a shed, and that's what I train guys out of, and then now here, and I would see Gus.
I was scared, like you said, I was scared, man. Because I still remember the first day I came in here, I was like, because I even told him I was
We
like, man,
sat
I don't want to
down.
start.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we were sitting down, and he was like, "This is where I'm at. This is what da 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 da." And it's crazy. People like, and that's cool. I understand that. That's kind of like that fear factor. Like, what if I do this
Mm-hmm.
or shoulda, coulda, woulda? And I'm like, man, just try. I go based off you. I'm like, each workout we do is designed that no matter what shape you're in, that you're still gonna get a sweat in. And I mean, you loved it that day. You actually did it with your brother when
I
you guys
did.
came. And I mean, right away you were like, yeah, I like this. And I think it was like not even a month later you already bought your pair of gloves and you was like, this is what I'm gonna do. And then
Yes.
bought a. I mean, you're on your second pair.
I'm on my second pair and working on ordering my third pair to
Yeah.
replace the second.
So she's definitely one of those like, she's gonna see how durable the gloves are for
Is
sure.
is this the first gym you tried?
As far as boxing,
No, as far as any gym, like a working out gym, YMCA, Extreme, workout anytime. Is this the first gym, or have you tried other gyms in town or in other places?
well, I have. But as far as utilizing my membership, yes,
Yeah.
I've made lots of donations to gyms and
I'll,
paid monthly
they
memberships. But
love that.
I like the way she
They
said
love
that.
that. They
Yeah,
love
I've
that.
donated.
They love that.
I did do some cardio
Drumming.
drumming before I came here for a few months, and I was pretty consistent with it, but not like I have here, and I didn't enjoy it as much as I do this. It was okay, but I just love the atmosphere here, and I think the atmosphere makes the workout
Yeah,
so
much better.
fun,
Yeah, much better. Yeah.
and your hour's gone.
Yep.
Coach is like, "All right, picture time," and it's like, "Whoa,
Mhm.
is it really time? Can you tell time?" And he's
we
like, "It's
were
time."
we were just talking about this offset. One of the things Davis has said, and this was the other day. He said, "Man, I really enjoy when Susie comes to class because I feel like she pushes me." And you didn't know that. I mean, everybody has like that person they kind of mesh with, and you're one of those people that you mesh with everybody. But you guys will be like, what are you doing? I know you ain't sitting now. Let's keep working. Let's get like you guys push each other, and I think it's huge. And Davis is like, man, I love it when Susie's here because I feel like I'm going like with her. Like we're like, let's go,
Yeah.
let's go, let's go, let's
Yeah.
go. And you guys are real bad about like I don't want to say bad, but it's a good thing. Like Christy will be like, "Come on, Adrian, I can't hear you. Are you even hitting the bag?" Like little stuff like that. Like you're joking around, but at the same time you're pushing them, and I love that. Like nobody here, like most gyms you go to, you go in there and the second you walk in, you're being judged
Yep.
almost
Yep.
instantly.
Instantly. Yep.
And that's what I try to tell people and preach to people. Ringside, it's not like that. You're here to. Your goal is I want to lose weight. I want to do this, and you're like, but at the same time, I want to be good at boxing as well. I don't want to just look like I don't know what I'm doing. And people automatically are like, Susie, wow, look at Susie, she looks really good. But I'm always like, but she does the full 9 yards. You don't just box, you do the full everything. Like, what all do you do?
Well, I use my Fitness Pal and I log everything that I consume. I know that's something that
Awesome.
some of my pals have laughed at night because one night I was going to eat a mint. I was like, I got to put this in my Fitness Pal. And they're like, no way. But I log everything that I consume. Actually, in January, I switched to having nothing but water. So I've had nothing but water since then. I stay under my calories. I work out at least 5 days a week. And on the weekends, I still try to do something. And a lot of days through the week, I do maybe 2 classes. And I've remained consistent. I've had bad days. We all have bad days, and you
Mhm.
can't let yourself get down then. If I have a bad day, then I tell myself tomorrow can't be another bad day because you get in that rut, and so you got to get yourself back out.
Now, see, that brings me to, a question about you and mentally. What have you learned about yourself going through what you had been doing since July 9th? What's some of the things that you've learned about yourself?
Well, I've learned that anything worth having is worth working for.
Mm.
Um, Most things that are worth having are hard to get there. This hasn't been an easy journey always, but it gets easier because I can look back and say, look at where you were, look at where you started, and look at where you're at now. I've, got a ways I still want to go, but there's so many stepping stones that I can look back to and say, look at this comparison.
Mm.
Look at where you went here and look at, just the difference. And it's not just the weight difference, it's the confidence difference, it's the ability. When I started this and started losing weight, there was no way I would have been able to do this class and not been sick or something. But now I'm like, oh, let's keep going. Let's not end.
And it's cool, and we'll have the pictures posted throughout the podcast or however you want to do it, but I want them to see the difference.
Before and after.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
she's got a lot of pictures that we're going to have throughout the
Okay.
podcast. I don't know how you want to do it, but let people see that, see the difference. And, I mean, you're a normal person, but as far as mentally, you're on a whole nother level. And that's the thing, anybody can do it. It's just, are you willing to do it? And we talk about a lot is that commitment,
Yes.
not saying I like to work out, but saying I work out, like making that lifestyle change, of
And
saying
it's hard.
it is.
It's hard. It's
and
hard.
and that's the thing, a year ago, July 9th, did you see yourself being here this moment almost a year later? Like, did you see this?
No, not at all. No, not as I was jumping rope in your parking lot. I did not see myself here a year later.
And it's funny, I'm not gonna demonstrate how she jump rope, but she would, if I'd explain it, she would jump 10 feet in the air to cross over an inch of rope, you know.
It was exhausting.
But it's neat because there's a saying that I've seen where this guy's dad was an alcoholic and he stopped drinking, and he asked his dad, he said, "So, are you done drinking alcohol?" And he goes, "No." He said, "But what I do know is I'm not gonna drink tomorrow." And that's what he says every day. I know I'm not going to drink tomorrow. So it seems like you made that commitment. Like, you know, I don't know if I'm going to be on this path, but I know I'm going to work out tomorrow. I know I'm going to work out tomorrow. And just keeping that just determined and just keeping that commitment and willpower.
And that's what I tell people. A lot of people are like, well, how did you get here? Like, you've been doing this over time. And I say, start small. That's where I started. I didn't say, I'm going to lose 100 pounds. I said, all right, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. And I was like, okay, well, you did that. Now I'm going to lose 30. And it was, okay, I went to the gym 3 days this week. Next week, I'm going to up that. And I'm going to start doing 4 days a week. And so just continuing those goals and setting those for myself. You can set all kinds of goals for yourself, but you have to set them where they are achievable. You
Yeah,
can't make a goal that's unrealistic because if so, you're setting yourself up from failure from the start.
absolutely. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, there's people out there, my job is to inspire people. And I mean, you do that as well all the time, if not daily. And I think it's awesome because somebody out there watching this might be like, I need a sign to achieve this goal, whatever that may be. And look at this podcast and being like, okay, if she can do it, that's my sign. I need to do it. And like you just being there and being like, I know it wasn't easy. Like you say, anything easy isn't worthwhile. You want to be able to go after it and get it. I think it's huge.
And it's mind over matter. I mean, anybody can uh, achieve a goal. If
Oh,
they put their
absolutely.
mind to it, they can do it. If somebody wants to come here and box, they can come here and box. They may get here and they may not be where they want to be, but they can set that goal for themselves and get there.
Absolutely. I think it's huge. A lot of people out there, they already doubt themselves from the beginning. And we talked about that before class about people that's like, well, I can't do that. And I always say, the person that says they can or can't are both right. If you say you can't do it, then you're right. You might as well just go ahead and not even put a car in that race because you're going to lose automatically. But you being there and I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. And it's crazy because people all the time like, did Susie come to class today? And I'm like, well, yeah. I'm like, it's another day of the week. Yeah, she'll be here. And people kind of look at you like, you kind of set the bar a little bit. Whenever you walk in, like they know you're about to, you're coming to work. And it's funny because you and Krista go back and forth. Chris like, I want to do this, and she's like, let's not stop at 3. Let's do 5. And then you guys go back and forth, and again goes back to that family thing and going back and forth. Guess you're shaking your head. What's that about?
Yeah. Was it one day I did the 6 o'clock? Because I used to do the 4 o'clock class when I was coming a lot. And I done the 6 o'clock class, and they was like, me and Chrissy was like, nah, just let's do this. And she said, nah, let's do 12. And I'm like, nah, nah, let's just do 10. Like, nah. And she was like, nah, let's do 12. Now let's do 15. Now let's do it for 3 minutes, not for 2 minutes. Let's do it. I was like, God bless.
What's funny, man?
Chill.
A little like recap. Last year around like September, I can't remember the exact date Christy started, but you guys kind of came together. And during this time, I was doing a class here, and I was also doing a class at the Y. And they would get on me like, you need to stay here, blah 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 blah. We need to have 2 hours of class, and I'm like, what? I mean, just loved it, man. Like, just consumed boxing. I want to do it again. I want to do it again. And sure enough, one day I thought they were joking. I said, I gotta leave at 6 o'clock. I gotta go teach a class at this time. And they made a comment like, we'll see you out there. And I was like, yeah, right. I'll see you guys. Gave my hugs and I left. And sure enough, they walk into
They
class,
blew
walking
up.
close,
They blew
and they
up.
just got done doing
Yeah.
my class. And they're like, let's do it again. I was like, welcome to the Wilds. We do the same thing we just did here. And they love it, man. I mean, they like we said earlier, they made it a lifestyle, and I've heard you say it. I've heard a lot of people say it, and you say it as well. If you don't come to class, you feel like you're missing something, almost like your day's off. And just the other day, you had a doctor's appointment. You want to talk about that? And you came in and was like,
I had been to the doctor that morning and had something done, and I was sitting at home and I was just bored. I was like, man, I feel guilty because I'm not at the gym. I missed my 1 o'clock class. Well, I'm gonna get up and go. I come in here at 3:30 and knocked it out. So
I mean,
I
it's insane,
But
man.
have you ever you done it for a year and you say you do classes twice a day? And I know I've seen it. I've seen pictures. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, whatever, or even at what time does
They'll do 11, a 1, a
Brandon comes
4,
school?
and
Brandon
6.
comes
11.
11. I seen you doing it at 11, then come back and do it at 6. Now, don't you ever want a break? I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna take off Monday just for myself.
In my mind, I think that, and then I think I'm kind of like Davis. The moment I'm like, I'm not going to go, it's 10 minutes before class, and I'm like, no, you don't need that break because this is my me time. I was sick with the flu, and I said, do you think I can go to boxing? My husband said, you must be crazy. You have the flu. I said, but I am missing boxing. He said, I know, it's very important to you, but you've got the flu. When I went on vacation, I daily went to the gym, and I have a different color ringside shirt that I wear every single day. It doesn't not for particular days, but I just have different ringside shirts. So every day that I was in Florida, I went to the gym there and I had my ringside shirt on and boxed. So this is my me time, and I tell everybody that I think I deserve 1 hour of my day for me.
Mm. Now let me ask you this: so would you say that ringside has changed your life?
Absolutely.
Mm. Now I got another question for you. So you talk about how you go through all these different trials, right? And I got the flu, I got this, I want my me time, I want this and this. Now, how does somebody push themselves to do that? How do you do
Mm.
it? How do you go from, relaxing and then being like, okay, let's go to the gym, like all the time? Like you talk about how like, oh, no, I'm gonna go. How does somebody do that in your head? How do they do it?
So it's almost like setting a goal. I mean, I work, and at my job, they know if I'm coming on lunch break, they know that I'm going to be going out the door and I'm going to be going. And I just have to say to myself, I'm not going to let somebody be an obstacle for that.
Mm.
I don't let somebody step in between me and coming here. If they're saying, hey, we need to talk to you, I'm like, you're going to have to call me. You can call me while I'm driving, and they will. And if they need me, they know they can reach me while I'm here if an emergency happens or something. But I just don't let somebody step in between me and that time. I continue to tell myself, you deserve an hour of your day. If
It's almost as if you coming to an hour class kind of helps you relieve all that buildup. Kind of like this is where you come to relieve your stress.
Therapy.
Yeah, almost like you get to come here and it's you get a new glass of water, or you get your glass refilled, so to speak.
yes,
But have you ever been so exhausted that, like, cause I was like that yesterday. I was so exhausted. Like I was. That's why I didn't come yesterday, cause I was literally exhausted. Like I felt like I was about to pass out, cause I haven't been getting no sleep, no rest, and I've been coming working out, lifting or whatever. And then yesterday, I just feel so exhausted. Like I feel like I was about to pass out. You have never felt like that?
I've been really exhausted. And some of these days
But
that I do two classes, by the end of that second class, I'm like, are we done yet? Do you want me to do
Because
any more?
I know the type of job you do, whatever, and I know that's very, very mentally exhausting. So I couldn't imagine. I do a lot of physical stuff, well, not really, but we gotta say physical. Starting with three. But I mean, yesterday, like we started working back 7 days a week, which I've been working 6 days, but last week, we started working 7 days a week, and I haven't got no sleep or nothing. I was just so exhausted yesterday that I was just like, oh my God, like I never felt like this. And usually, like last year when I was working 7 days a week, I would still come in here, but I would take a nap in the bench or in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday I couldn't even do that. I couldn't get myself to come up here and be like, okay, I'm gonna work out, or I'm gonna take a nap, then go work out. I couldn't get myself to it. You never been like that?
I've been there, but I try to push myself through it. I almost have this penciled in on my schedule like a job. It's my
Mm.
job to be at boxing in afternoon class.
That is
It's
awesome.
my job to be there at
Mm,
That is
lunch.
awesome.
I like that.
I mean, here's what I've noticed, man. Ringside, I can almost look, and you guys are like this too. When somebody walks in the gym, I can almost be like, tell if they're gonna be here in a month or 2 months. I can just tell. Like, man, and I'll tell you guys, like, somebody walk in, I hate to be like that, but I'm like, thinking I'll be here a month. I can just tell. Like the little stuff they say, the little stuff they do, their body move. I'm like, man, that almost like they're looking for a way out. I'm like, man, that ain't gonna last. But you people that come in here that are just like, I am fixated on doing this. I'm going to do this. There's no and or but. I'm doing it. Period. And I know everybody has those days, man. I mean, I'm a coach. I have those days.
Oh, I
I
know
run
you
the
do.
gym,
Yeah, yeah.
and how often do I take a sick day? How often do I close the gym? You know what I mean? Very rarely do I do that, because I'm like, this is y'all's therapy. I'll never do that. If anything, I'm there going with you guys. Let's keep going. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
And I talked about it today. A lot of environments are based off who's in control of it. You walk in a place and they're very serious. That kind of sets the tone. But you walk in, we greet everybody, we hug, we dab each other up, and we have a good environment where we're all just like, I'm ready to work out. And people people that are working out is brutal. They're like almost like torture. Why do you torture yourself? And even you talking about wanting to go on a diet, but look, you're smiling. If she's getting tortured, she shouldn't be smiling. She's like, I love to train 2 days, 2 times a day. I love to count my calories. You're
Yeah,
obsessed with it, but it's a good thing to be
it's a good
obsessed
thing. Yeah,
about.
but see, just like, do you have a big support system besides people in here?
Oh, I do.
And see, that's what people need. People need even like your husband, your boyfriend, or girlfriend, whatever. They need to have that support system. They need to push you too. Because I heard I heard today in star number three. While I was taking a break. I read this. I seen this video said if you hang out with a millionaire, if you hang out with 3 millionaires, you're gonna be the fourth one. If you hang with three poor people, you're gonna be the fourth poor one. It's so what you surround, and that is very very true. Because when I started messing with Dalton again, I mean, it's just that vibe. Just like I started being not. I'm not saying like I was being like him, but I was more happier. Because he's a happy person, even when he has some bad days. I mean, I can't never tell that he's having a bad day, not unless he put me to the side. Ooh, this, and we talk about it. Even with you, like with church, I started talking to you about church or whatever, and then I feel like I got a little bit closer to the church or whatever. So the people out there that they think that they can't do it, or that, oh man, I'm too fat, too heavy set, too tall, too short, or whatever, just come out here and check us out. I mean, we gotta get y'all together. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna support y'all. We support anybody. I don't care the race, color, religion, or whatever it
Mm.
is. Because I mean, I know everybody wants to do better. I don't care who it is. Everybody wants to do better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still, till this day, I still want to lose weight. But I mean, my surgery held me back. I mean, there's so many stuff that happened to me, but I still want to lose weight. And like it's like he said, I look up to you because when I look on Facebook and I look at the page, I'm like, damn, Susie, what's in there 2 days? I'm like, I know she can, I can do it too. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, there again, man, I know there's a lot of people out there, man, that be like, man, I wish I could be there. Man, y'all more than welcome to come up here. It's not even my gym. Well, it is my gym
Mm.
because I've been coming here and I know him since he was this little. But I mean, please come. I mean,
I always say this too. People have this big interpretation that, you have to be in shape to go to a gym. And I'm like, no, you
mm-mm.
go to the gym to
To
get
get
in
in
shape.
shape.
Yes.
And I'm like, it's not designed to where you got to be in shape to come. There's not a requirement. You just walk in and
That's with
whatever.
anything, like school. You didn't know nothing, so you went to school to learn
Learn.
something, to learn this
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Same with church or whatever church, whatever. You go to church to learn, you to get that knowledge or whatever. Same with the gym. I mean, just because okay, I'm gonna go work out, I'm gonna automatically you ain't gotta be hitting 315. It takes process or whatever and support. Even with weightlifting, I got a lot of support weightlifting. Shout out to LD. He helps me out lifting. A 16-year-old lifting with a 40-year-old out there. Show me what to. Oh man, I got this new workout. Let's try this. With you. Oh man, I come in here at 4 o'clock. Gus, I got this new workout. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If you surround your people with positive people and like let's say you want to lose weight, just hang out with people
And,
that
and
gonna
I'm
help you
gonna
there.
I'm gonna say this too. I'm gonna kind of elaborate on what you're saying, right? So you want to have a support system, but at the
Yes,
same time, they need to be able to put you in check too.
yes, yes.
For like reasons like you just said, I don't want to go to the gym. It's my job to be like, hey man, where you at?
Mm-hmm.
And I got some people, I'm not gonna say names, but I mean, and there's some people that be like, hey man, I need to get in the gym, and I'm like, all right, where you at? And I have a few people, I can call them out
Call
and
them
be
out.
like,
Yeah,
but I'm not going to. But I'm like, it's my job as your friend, your coach, to be like, hey man, where you at? Hey
Mm-hmm.
man, where you at?
yeah,
Because I'm like, I'm not one of those gyms that I want your money. If it was up to me, if I was able to, I wouldn't charge nobody. I wouldn't. That's just how I am. And again, I train people for years for free.
yep,
Because I'm like, dude, if you come in here and bust your butt, I won't charge you. I won't. Now I can't do it now because this is my livelihood. But with that being said, I'm gonna put you in check. I'm gonna be, hey man, you need to come to the gym. You say you want to lose weight, show me. Well, and that's in a big paragraph. It's this, and I'm like, no, dude, don't even. I'm not even gonna read it. Just show up. Just show up. And you say the hardest part is just getting here.
it
The
is.
second you walk in the door, I'm like, wait, we doing this, that. You need to work. Just I'm gonna do it. You ain't gotta think. Just do what we're doing.
Yep,
And then you leave. You're like, I'm glad I did that.
yep,
But and again, you show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
yep,
So you gotta surround yourself with people that's gonna put you in check. Because if you don't, you're gonna go right down with them. And
yep.
and again, even if you're in like the friend group and you're the leader, like you walk in a room, and if you're the richest man in the room, find another room. If you're the most, whoever it is in that room, find another room. You gotta constantly keep getting better and better and better. You know, you never want to settle or be comfortable. And that's the thing with you. You know, you've been here for almost a year, and you're not comfortable.
And still not
You're like,
comfortable.
next,
No.
next.
Yep.
And you'll come in, you're like, I'm gonna sweat. Like, I
Yep.
want to, like, let's go. And it's funny because before class, you're like, hey, I want to, you know, I want a good workout. And I'm like, all right, well, we're gonna do this. And they're like, I'll hear people, you know, mumble or this and that because they're like, man, we're already doing a lot. I'm like, Susie's got to sweat. I'm sorry, this is what we're doing. And they're like, ugh.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they might be like a little upset, but when they get done, they're like, I'm glad we did that.
Yeah.
Because they're all capable of doing it. You know, you've done it. And that's anybody that comes in here and they're like, I can't do this, I can't do that. I'm like, don't ever say that in front of Susie because she's going to put you in check. Like, I'm doing it. Second time today. Like, it's a joke, but yesterday, you know, Adrian shows up late to class. Like, shout out to Adrian. Appreciate you, dog. But anyway, he shows up a little later. And they always give each other crap, right? He shows up a little late. And Susie shows up a little bit later than Adrian did. And we're already working out, doing like the workout, warming up. And Susie comes in, and Adrian looks at her, and Susie's like, second one today, bud. And keeps like, walks by him. Because she knew he was going to say something like, why you later? Because they all, you know, they all put each other in check. They support each other, they push each other, they put each other in check. Awesome friend to have. And as soon as she walks in, she's like, second one today, bud. Walks by him. And I just start laughing. He's like, it's like that. I'm like, dude, it's hilarious that everybody just kind of meshes in together because they all have that goal. It's just to get better. You know, if that's in boxing, if it's in fitness, we all have a goal. And that's what I love, you know. And most gyms are like, you know, as soon as you walk in, they're automatically judging you or whatever, you know, automatically.
And you say that, and I think what I have found at ringside is encouragement and inspiration. I've found encouragement from the people around me. They're constantly saying, hey, I can see a difference in you. You don't look like the same person when you started here. And then I know when Gus was talking about the days like that are bad and you don't want to come, it's just like you magically pick up on that and you push me a little harder. On my days where I'm just kind of down, and the next thing you know, you're like, one more. And I'm like, one more? And you're like, one more. And I'm like, yeah, I bet it's one more. Till I'm just ready to fall out.
I try not to lie to you guys, but that's the biggest lie I'll ever say is one more. Because I know you can, and sometimes you guys will catch on to, like, I'll tell Davis, like, one more. He's like, no, one more now. Because you'll mess up or whatever. Like, I just want, you know, you guys, as far as everybody, to know that, you know, just because I say one more or whatever, you have 10 more left in you. And that's anybody. You know, you get done running a mile, you got one more mile in you. You know, you did one lap. You got one more lap in you. Like you're not done yet. You know what I mean? Like, it's the 60-40. Like, you know, you quit after 40%, but your body still has 60% left over. But your mind quits on you first.
Right.
I mean, that ain't easy. Like, you know, for people that don't know, I went and ran 10 miles one day because I was like, I've never ran 10 miles. I'm going to do it. And, dude, that was horrible. But I was like, I'm going to do it. Like, I'm going to do it.
I don't think that was bad. I don't think that was bad. I think that one was pretty bad when you ran negative.
Oh, when it was cold out there?
When it was cold out there.
Yeah.
Negative, what was it? Negative something?
I can't remember, but you can say.
Beard was frozen, mustache was frozen.
Yeah, my eyelashes were frozen.
I was like,
but I want people to know, like, dude, like, you can do anything. Like, honestly, you can do anything. But your mind will be like, no, you can't do that. Like, you a year ago, like, okay, let me ask you this. If you could talk to yourself a year ago or 2 years ago, wherever you was at in that, we'll say funk, what would you tell yourself? If you went back 2 years and you're like, look, Susie.
Oh, my biggest regret is that I didn't start this place till July 9th. I continued to be told, I had 2 friends that were coming here, and they continued to say, do it. You can do it, try it, like I talked about earlier. And my biggest regret is that I didn't start sooner.
Now, let me ask you this, right? So you're in that funk. What was the straw that broke the camel's back? You're like, you're going to do this. You're going to do this.
You know, I think about that sometimes to myself. I'm thinking, what just was the final straw and made you do this? I didn't see myself anymore. I had lost count of who I was. I was becoming somebody I wasn't even that person. I would look and I didn't see myself. And that wasn't who I wanted to be.
That's awesome. So, I mean, anybody can do it. I mean, that's awesome.
About
it's just insane because, like, the Susie that I know, this is who I know. You know, if I would have seen you 3 years ago, I mean, I don't know. Like, I remember you came in one day, you're like, I want to lose weight. And it's like, to me, I see you almost daily. So I don't see the big changes. So, like, you talk about Joan, you're like, Joan's lost a lot of weight. I'm like, I see Joan all the time. I don't know. And again, shout out to Joan. She's awesome. She cooks for us when we ask. She's awesome. She is like one of the gym moms. I mean,
she's having a good vacation.
Yeah, always on. She just got back from vacation, going again. She's at Atlantic City. But she's awesome. Love Joan to death. And I didn't notice it. One day you told me, you were like, man, she's lost a lot of weight. And I'm like, really? I don't know. I'm with you guys all the time. So it's hard for me to notice, weight, like, stuff like that as far as losing weight. But to me, like, I talk to you and I'm like, I don't see that Susie, like that's out of my vocabulary. I don't know who that person is. And then for you to be here now, it's like, I could never see that. Because, like, when I look at you, I see that determined, that driven, like, we're going to do this, like, just set to it.
And it's funny that you say that because it's kind of the same way for me, but I can see other positive aspects from it where, I mean, obviously I see myself every day, so I don't see the, lose a pound here, lose a pound there, but I've seen the other, drastic changes that it's made, as far as my attitude, as far as my confidence, as far as being the endurance, those kind of things. Like, that's the things that I can pick up on more than I can just the changes, the appearance changes.
And I've noticed that too, even like the little things. So here recently, the last like 2 weeks, we've been adding in wall sits. Just sitting on a wall, there's nothing underneath you. You set like a 90-degree angle with your legs, and you made yeah, David's already going. I know, but something that you pointed out, you was like, man, these are getting easier. Like it's the little things that make the big difference, right? Like even just that little bit, you're like that pushes me again because when I first did that, my legs were shaky. I was this and that, and then you get used to like I like this, and you're constantly setting those goals. And me personally, I try to switch it up on us, and like we just start doing a new workout too with the chairs and just always trying to find different ways to make losing weight or working out fun. Because a lot of times people go to do a workout and they're looking in the mirror and they're doing these curls and they don't see results fast enough. So a lot of people will give up. I've met a lot of people over the years that, as far as like fitness industry, and they're like, I'll see them like they're working out one day, and then a couple months go by, and I'm like, hey man, you still working out? And they're like, no. And I'm like, what happened? They're like, I didn't see results fast enough. And I'm like, well, the problem is you won't. You'll notice progress 6 months later when you pick up that weight that you were struggling to pick up, or you was having a trouble running that mile, and now you're doing 5 miles. It's little stuff like that, but you have to stay consistent because the man that loves to walk will walk further than the man that loves the destination. You have to constantly, you pass that line, make a new line. You pass that line, make a new line. Always finding ways to just keep going.
You do. And what I've done, and I've said this before in class, I've made a lifestyle change. Everybody's like, well, what kind of diet are you doing? I'm like, I'm not dieting. I've dieted many times in my life and maybe lost 10 or 15 pounds and then you gain it back. But this has been a lifestyle change, a journey that I have done for myself. If I want a chocolate chip cookie, I have a chocolate chip cookie. I put it in that Fitness Pal. I'm going to log them calories for it. But I have a cookie. I don't have a pack of cookies, but I have a cookie. And it's that the satisfaction is still there. So it's all about making the lifestyle changes versus saying I'm dieting because you can stick with a lifestyle change.
I love this. You don't notice this, but I notice this. But indirectly, this is what Gus like. I see over here shaking your head because Gus has told me I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna fast. I'm gonna do this. It's hard. I mean, it's hard.
That's my weakest. I can do the running, the jogging, the lifting. I can do all of it. But my diet, I'm not changing my diet. Like I'm not, and it's because I love food. Food is my best friend. Food is my comfort. I can be sick.
You don't have to. I don't think you have to change your diet so much. I think you just need to watch what you eat.
I eat and how much I eat.
So we talked about it before. One of Gus's biggest problem is it's not the food that's the problem, it's the portion.
Portion, yeah.
Like you can give Gus a plate of food, hey man, eat this. He'll fine. But he's like, let me get another one. And we go out to eat. We love to eat. All of us do. We always go out to eat right here. This three. We always go out to eat.
We're going out to eat after this. Probably.
And the thing is, you do like you want. I don't want that steak. I want steaks. I want this.
Once you said cookie, I want the whole bag of cookies.
Yeah, and dude, the problem is, man, it's such a hard thing to get out of, man, because like you said, that's your happy place. When you get to eat food, and the problem is, man, it's hard to break because food is like you do it when you're bored, you're happy. It's just
sad.
And a lot of the things too, man. No matter what it is in life, it's a routine. Like to me, I work out all the time, and people will text me like, how do you do it? How do you? Because people ask me like, man, I can't seem to want to work out. How do you do it? And I'm like, well, I don't do it. It's a routine. It's a part of me now. This is what I've been doing since I was 14.
Lifestyle.
I'm like, I can't change it. This is my life. I can't stop doing it. And you're the same way. It's that lifestyle. People's like, I find it hard to go do a 30-minute workout. How do you work out so much all the time? I'm like, this is just, it's who I am. Like you almost build a reputation, and you feel like if you stop doing it, whatever. Like me, I find myself like making Snapchat stories, and I'm doing it to keep myself in check. But at the same time, you're watching it, you're watching, like, man, coach ran 2 miles a day, coach went and did this, and they ask themselves, what did I do today?
Hmm.
And that's a big question.
This is what we were talking about the other day, riding down the road. You were asking me how so like somebody that smokes and they try to quit and they say, I'm going to quit, but they do it on what's it called?
Oh, one of those vapes,
No,
or like the patch, or
no.
Like they gradually cut back.
Yeah, like they're trying to quit and they're just and they try, but they do it for a while, but it wears off. And they have that one cigarette in their back, or if it's eating, they have that one meal and it just ruins
right,
it all
it loops them right
right
back to
back.
it. Yeah.
So you finally have to make that decision that, hey, I'm not a person that does this, or I'm not going to just quit doing this, or it's that I'm going to be a person that does this. That is
Mhm.
me. That's not me trying to do this. That is what I am, and that's who I am, and that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, it's that one that, like, for Susie and
It's a
us,
deeper
that,
decision than just wanting to do
yeah,
something.
it's that, I like to work out. Between I work out, there's a difference. I like to work out. No, I work out. I work out
Your
every day. I
workout,
don't like to work out. I work
y'all
out.
workout is pretty much like needs, like I like to eat, like, or like eating. It's you have to do it. Like
Yeah,
you have that's where y'all at. I work out for the fun of it. I work out to hang out with y'all. I go lifting weights to hang out with LD. You know what I'm saying? I hang out with just to do that. I need to do a lifestyle change and quit eating so damn much. That's what I need
but
to
it's
do.
hard, man.
Right,
It's
it is
ain't
hard.
done. I
It is
mean,
hard.
out of experience. But the thing is, because she made that commitment, that is why she's here sitting in this chair during our podcast. Because she made that, I'm going to be like this. It's almost like she made a contract with herself and she refuses to break it, and that's why she's like this. To be honest, me personally, between me, you, anybody, like, we're never gonna stop. That's the thing. There's never gonna be a moment where you're like, I finally hit my goal, I'm done. Because there's a lot of
No.
people that are like, they finally hit that goal and they're done. It's like they work toward, like, I want to be
It's pretty
165.
much
They
like an
hit that
addiction.
goal and they're like, I'm done now. I can finally rest. No,
It's
you
pretty much like
never
an
rest.
addiction. Like an
Yeah,
addiction. Like you gotta have it.
you gotta constantly set goals for yourself, because when you settle, that's a dangerous place, man. When
Yeah.
you settle, when
Settle.
you get comfortable,
It's over with.
like, and if that ever happened to you, right? You seen what you was. If you ever stop chasing that goal and you stop, your biggest fear is going right back to where
Back
you
to where it
was.
was.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And that's a crazy feeling to be on. Even whenever you look at pictures, like, like you smoking all the time, you're like, man, I can't believe he used to smoke. That's nasty. Or you go out and you smell it. You smell somebody smoking, man, that's
That's
gross.
nasty.
I used to
be
be
a
like
smoker.
that,
I used to be a smoker.
It's the little things like that, man, that just push you back on that track. Like, I'm gonna keep going because that stinks. Or you're like, man, like that picture I was a year ago or 2 years ago. I'm disappointed. I hate it. I will never be that again. Making that commitment.
You
I
know why? You know
refuse.
why I quit smoking cigarettes?
What?
Because I couldn't eat hot sauce.
You couldn't eat hot sauce
Because it'll give me acid reflux real bad.
when you
Cigarette.
smoke?
No, when I start smoking, when I smoke and I eat a lot of hot sauce.
Oh, I know. Shout out to El Mazelon.
Y'all might be missing a couple bottles. uh, no, because I couldn't eat no more hot sauce. Cause, no, and I used to get real bad acid reflux. So it was the cigarettes or the hot sauce. So I picked the hot sauce. So I mean, I wish I know you probably don't answer this, but I like to know, like I know you said you wasn't you, but like I want to know, like, oh, never mind, we done.
No,
No,
he's
keep
no,
going.
yeah,
Oh,
keep going.
like I want to know, what was the point? I know you already said it, but I wanted, like I know I kept on saying, like I keep on saying for years, since I know, since I came in this gym, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. Cause in my head I don't see me this big. I see this little small boy. To be honest with y'all. But now I'm getting too big that I keep on running into walls now. So like I want to know, like,
Maybe the walls are shrinking, Gus.
I think that's what it was. I want to know, like, what was enough, like for real, like what was enough. I know you said that you wasn't you, but really, cause I'm happy. I'm be honest with you. I'm happy with myself. If my knees and my ankles didn't hurt or whatever, I stay this size. I wouldn't change nothing. I love myself. You know what I'm saying? But not getting to the point where, like, I gotta go buy clothes now because I gained so much weight when over this surgery or whatever. But it's still in my head. I still feel like that I'm small. Like I don't feel like I'm this big boy or whatever, this thick boy. But I want to get to the point. Like I had enough. Okay, let's change my diet. I don't want to do it because I'm happy. Like I love to eat.
Is there a question?
Yeah, yeah. Like what made you do that?
I mean, I think that I can go back to, and I was showing them the other night. I have this picture that I took. I'm sure it was a snap that I saved, in all honesty, but it was a morning on my way to work. I'd actually been really sick with COVID. God, I thought I was going to die, but I didn't, obviously. But I'd taken this snap, and I still to this day look back at this picture, and I didn't see myself in it. I didn't look. I've always been a people person. I've always been a happy person. I mean, it's not, it's uncommon for me not to be happy, something like that. But I just didn't look like that in that picture. I just kind of looked like I was there. And I was like, nope, not going to
Oh,
do
I
this.
ain't there yet. I'm good. Go ahead.
Do you think there'll ever be a moment that you hit that I'm gonna
I thought
change
it was too.
now? Is there you do you
Like
because you said you the thing is the difference between you two is that you loved yourself and she didn't know who she was. That's the difference.
I
That's
know,
why
I
she
know.
hit that. So you being a person that like that you love yourself. To me, dude, I hate myself sometimes. I put myself through hell because I'm like, you're gonna do this. You're gonna do this. Because in my head, I see it like a scared boy that I want to just, you're gonna do this. You're gonna do it. So I put myself through stuff that I shouldn't do it because I'm like, you're gonna do it. You're gonna run 10 miles. You don't like it? So what? We're gonna do this.
I ain't never
So
think like that.
it's
I would never
psychotic,
think like
but
that.
she can relate. She's smiling because
I'm getting there.
yeah, so you hit a certain point where you're like you kind of it's like you're talking to yourself. You're gonna do this. Oh, you don't want to do it? Guess what? We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it hard.
Self-talk.
We're doing this.
I talked to that inner.
That yeah, we talk about it. Can we say it? Don't say it.
You can say it.
Inner bitch is what I call it. There's everybody has an inner bitch. Do you want to do it? Hell no. Are you gonna do
I'm
it?
part
Never
time.
gonna
I
do
talk
it.
to him. I talk to her every once in a while.
But you see what I'm saying?
Like I talk to like you dumb, you know.
But see that's the thing. We have that. You're gonna do it. Like we love ourselves enough that we're gonna put ourselves through that. We don't do it because we hate ourselves. We do it because we love ourselves. Like I'm like, man, like I hate myself sometimes. Like you're gonna do it. I love you so much that I hate it. We're gonna do this. So you saying that you love yourself, you think you ever be like, look, Gus, we're gonna do this. You have to do this.
I think so. I don't.
And
But
you're
like
close to it, or you have your days.
I have my days.
Okay.
Put it that way. I have my days. But to be honest with you, that's why I asked this question, and that's why it took so long for me to ask you this question because I didn't know how to ask you. But you got it, or whatever. And I'm glad y'all did because I don't want to confuse y'all because I do want to get there. I mean, I don't want to be this big where I can't freaking walk through a door and I'm man, them walls hurt at work. You know what I'm saying? Like they be bumping me and everything. I'm like, I know I'm not getting that wide. I mean, in my head, I'm not wide. But like yesterday. I ordered some shirts because I need some new clothes. I ordered some shirts. They arrived yesterday, and I put them on. And my daughter was like, "Dang, Daddy, I didn't know you was a bodyguard. You can be my bodyguard at school." And I'm like, "Let me see that picture." I looked at it. Oh, I think it didn't hurt my feelings, but I was like, "Damn, I'm getting a little bit chubster. I'm getting more bigger."
I mean,
I mean, like like.
you're naturally big anyway. Like if I see you, like your stomach doesn't hang out. You know what I mean? Like yeah, you're
But
wide, but I know, but in your eyes, you're like, man, I feel like I'm getting big.
yeah, because I mean, like I was on 2X. Now I'm like on 3X. And like
I mean,
different.
the thing is, dude, it's like you have to. I mean, I can't be like, guess you're gonna start working out. I mean, it's you, man. Like I can say it, Susie can say it, Davis can say it, but
It's me.
it's you versus you.
I
That's
know,
it.
and I'm the worst enemy to myself because you know what I'm saying. Like yesterday, last night when I was exhausted, I was like, and then I feel like a piece of shit because I was like, man, I should just been worked out because you know what I'm saying. I was like, man, I'm over here, you know. Which my daughter told me she was like, you're not fat, you just thick, you just
You
a
big
thick,
athletic.
you're big,
You big athletic.
you're big athletic. And I was like, and I look at the pictures, I was like. We're gonna have to retake that picture. Here, hold on, let me put a white beater on so it'll flatten my chest a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It still didn't flatten it out though. It's still
I mean, dude, I always preach this to the classes, to everybody that comes in, and they're like, you can tell they're like their last limb, like it's class almost over. And I always say something is better than nothing. Like, dude, like anybody that comes in, I always make this joke. I'm like, you're beating everybody on the couch right now. No matter what you're doing, dude, you could be walking around the gym. I'm like, you are beating everybody on the couch.
That's correct.
You know, and I post videos and pictures all the time, like throughout the day, because I'm like, I want people to be like, man, Dalton's doing this. What am I doing? Nah, forget that. I'm doing this. Something, man, something.
you know this is
And you say too, because sometimes I post pictures and I'm always like, you want to put in work? Here's your sign. It's like a picture of me like sweating. I'm like, work. Like, put in work. Here's your sign, put in work, or whatever. And Gus called me one day, and I just got done running. He goes, man, is that aimed toward me? And I'm like, dude, you take it how you want.
You want to think, yeah.
I'm like, if you think it's towards you, maybe it's about
It is for you, yeah.
I'm like, if I make a post and I'm like, hey man, I put in work, did you? If you read that and you feel a type of way, there's a reason you feel a type of way.
And the reason I felt that way because I think I quit. I wasn't showing. Well, I didn't stop showing, but I was like, am I not working hard enough? If he doesn't tell me I'm not swimming hard enough or whatever, because I have my moments. I mean, it is. I'm telling you, like I bow to you, like I bow to all y'all, because y'all put y'all. I come in here and you be putting in work. Like I'm talking about shirts, force
You
sweat.
can see the big
Yes.
the big ring.
Yes.
Bolton will get
Yes.
it. It'll go right under the collar.
Yes, and I mean, I'm like, oh man, they put in work, whatever, and. Like I feel like I was like, man, I ain't putting no work or what? Like, what am I doing? Like, maybe that's why you getting fatter. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
I mean, I know it's not good to constantly put yourself down, but sometimes it is necessary.
and no, you have to.
Yeah,
you have
sometimes
to.
it's like, man, you gotta do something.
And
Like,
I honestly,
So I asked Davis a while back, like we were talking, and I was like, man, what was it that got you to do it? And they don't know. So what is it? What got you? What was that straw that broke the camel's back on your scenarios?
I had walked to the end of the field to bring some cattle back to the barn, and when I got back, it wasn't 100 yards. That's all it was. It was 100 yards. I walked back and I couldn't breathe. I was so exhausted from walking 100 yards, and I was like, no, this right here,
this ain't it.
this ain't gonna work. I got to do something. And of course, I started hiking then, and then I found the gym.
But you see what I'm saying? Everybody has a story that, like, almost a starting point. Like, you was this average Joe just going to work in a 9 to 5.
I'll never forget that feeling.
And again, here's the thing, man. Like, this isn't about you guys because y'all know y'all are in the gym. Y'all already here. But the thing is to the viewers is that you might be in that moment right now. Like, man, what am I doing? I'm sitting here in the car listening to this podcast, or I'm sitting here watching this video, and it's like, what am I doing? Because we all had that moment. It's just like, man, you got to do something, dude. You got to do something. Whatever it is, you got to do. If it's like, here's the thing, you never have to start big. Like Susie said earlier, it could be a small goal. All right, look, man, you're gonna walk 10 minutes a day. Just walk. Walk 10 minutes a day. Again, something is better than nothing. And like you said, you didn't start coming to the gym and doing 10 minutes of jump rope and all this excessive workouts. You started off by hiking. You started off by just doing a free class, and again, that's what I know. That's what I see. You could have been doing something before that. But you made a small change. It was like, now let's do it again. You just took that one step, next step, next step. A year later, you're now here. The scariest part about taking that leap, that like leap of faith into fitness, is you're just like, you got to do it. You have to. You can sit here and what's the word?
That's probably the same word I was looking for.
Well, probably, right? But you're having this debate with yourself, like, do y'all want to do it? But you have to. Nobody's going to make you do it.
But
I can't make Gus lose weight. I can't do it. I couldn't make Susie lose weight. But you have to make that commitment, okay? Is it going to be one day or day one? You know what I mean? And it could be something small. You start off, almost a year ago just taking that small step, doing a free class. And then here you are a year later.
Absolutely. And you got to start small and build up. Did I ever think that I would lose 87.5 pounds? Never. That was never in my mind that was going to happen.
What was the waist? You said it earlier. What was the waist that you had that you lost?
Well, I went down. I went from a 44 to a 34 and can wear a 32, but it would be tight in like EMS pants.
What was that? You were like, you was like, dude, that's like that much that she like lost. Yeah. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And
10 inches, man.
And I always say this whenever I had Crit or Cord in here, I called him Glass. Whenever I had him on here, I asked him. I said, man, what's the secret? How do you do it? What's the secret to losing weight? Is there a pill? Is there a magical water you can drink? What's the secret?
There is no secret. It's commitment.
Old-fashioned hard work. Just old, honest hard work. And the thing is that. And I'm not saying that people that take surgery to lose weight, like I'm shaming them.
No.
But I'm saying when you put in the hours and you put in that hard work, you're like, not going back then. I worked hard for this. I refuse to go back. The ones that have the surgeries and lose weight, they're just like, well, that was easy, but they didn't learn their lesson. They do it again. A lot of people you see, like, they're like, man, I've done had 3 surgeries.
Yep.
You're like, what happened? Well, I lost the weight,
and then
I kept eating, and I gained it again.
Yep.
I did surgery again, I lost the weight again. And it's almost like, you know, if you worked for it, you almost have that like, okay, you know, I earned this. I'm not going back to that. Kind of like when you buy that first car, like I'm taking care of this car. I
Yep.
bought it. My dad didn't buy this car. I bought it. I'm gonna take care of this car. I'm gonna clean it. I'm gonna maintain it. Whatever, you know. Sometimes it's easier just to put the work in. I mean, I know it sucks.
Sucks.
I know when you think about it, like, you know, they see Susie, they might be seeing Susie and be like, they heard her say a year, and they're like, nope, clicking off of that. I'm not putting in work for a year. But when you look at it each day, it's not a year. It's just one more day, one more day,
And it don't feel like a
one
year.
more day. No. But I mean, when you look at pictures a year ago, you're like, oh, I'm so glad that I did this. I'm so glad that I made this first step. And it's something good. It's not self destructive, it's something positive. And you get to carry this with you. I mean, it's almost like you get to, like, your whole demeanor is different. You know, your chin's up, your shoulders roll back. You're happy to be. You're finally happy.
Yes.
You know, you might not be satisfied, but you're happy. You're like, I'm glad I'm here. One day I'll be satisfied. Spoiler, you won't. You'll
No,
never be
right.
satisfied.
Never.
If you're built different, cut from different cloth, you're never gonna be satisfied.
No.
That's how it is.
No.
But that's all right. We're willing to do that because we're testing our mind and our body is a reward. You know, we're constantly testing our mental, like how much can you take, and through that, your body's a reward. You know, your body shows what you've been putting through. You know, some people talk about that. They're like, oh, that's ain't gonna last. Like he's not mentally capable of it. You know, you can kind of see it. You can that mindset will take you to that next level. You know.
The one thing I hear is well, you're just when you quit that, you're gonna gain all that weight back. It's like, well, I'm not working out to lose weight though. It's a lifestyle now. It's what I do.
Exactly.
It's not. I'm not ever gonna gain it back.
And all
I'm part time.
Not that I lost that much.
so I always say this. Like one thing I tell Whitney, and you know Whitney she made a whole lifestyle change as well over a year ago, and she's been going to the gym all the time, and something that I would talk to her is I'm like, imagine, like you got to ask yourself, imagine if you never stopped, whatever that means. Imagine if you never quit, and that's in lifting, that's in boxing, that's in a whole life aspect. Imagine if you never quit, and imagine a job. Let's say that you're not working a dead end job, you're working a good job. Let's say you never quit that job. You might be CEO. You might be running that job by now. We'll never know because you quit. Boxing. I never quit boxing. That was something I made a commitment when I was like 14. You know, we're gonna do this, and now I'm here. Now we're in our podcast. You know, but you know you have to make that commitment. You know, and just to have that thought process. That thought process. Imagine if I never quit. Like you, here you are. You know, I never quit. I refused, and now we are here. You know, that's awesome. Is there anything you guys want to say or elaborate on before we?
I just want to say, come join us at ringside. You will not be disappointed. It's a great, fun, energetic atmosphere. So come try it out. First class is free. Why not?
And I always say, you know, like we always talk about it, but you know, they could be like, well, I mean, that's your gym. Of course, you're gonna say that or whatever. But you're somebody that does it religiously here every day. And again, you don't believe me? Go to ringside. You can scroll endlessly. And you'll see Susie.
Yes.
I mean, she's here. She's putting in the work. She's living proof. And throughout the podcast, you'll see the before and after, and we have videos that we'll be sure to throw in there as well that you can, so they can see the difference of how far she has come. If you like what you've seen, like what you heard, you enjoyed it, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, even if it's something small. Let's go, Susie, keep putting in work, or whatever it may be. Gus, tell your
Mama, daddy, brother, sister, baby mama, everybody. I'm still trying to get out the mud. That ain't working though, but I'm still trying.
thank you guys so much, man, and time.